Welcome back to the Cool Fears channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is time for adult collectors and not children. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Hot Toys Arkham Knight Batman figure. If you do enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out and thank you to channel sponsor Entertainment Earth. Check out my Entertainment Earth affiliate link down in the description below to check out all sorts of cool figures and help support the channel. Jumping right on into this review, guys. Yes, today we are taking a look at the Hot Toys Arkham Knight Batman figure. This, guys, man, oh man, this is definitely, or I guess at this point, this was definitely a grail piece of mine. So I was just about ready to settle for the Arkham Asylum suit when I found this guy on offer for an unbelievable price. Now, he's not perfect. Like I said, I found him on offer up. So he is pre-owned, and so we will definitely go into all of that. That's nothing to take away from the figure itself, because that has to do with the previous owner more than the actual figure, but we'll go ahead and talk about that. But like I said, this was definitely a grail piece of mine for a very long time, considering that this guy easily goes for $400 to $800 on the secondary market. So I never imagined that I would own this guy right here. So when I found him on offer up for such an amazing deal, I could not pass him up. Like I said, I was ready to add the regular Arkham Asylum Batsuit Batman to my Arkham shelf and call it a day, but thankfully I was able to find this immaculate Batman instead. Now, I am still thinking about adding the original Arkham suit to the collection. However, that has drastically dropped on my list of additions since getting this guy. Now that I have a Batman for my Arkham shelf, it's not such a rush issue for me. So yeah, guys, this guy was an unbelievable find for me personally. Now, I did get him in a bundle deal with another figure that I actually had never heard about before, but I was super happy to come across nonetheless, and that is a 1/6 scale Arkham Origins Black Mask. So we will be taking a look at that guy very soon, so stay tuned for that. However, this time we are taking a look at the Arkham Knight Batman. Now, in the deal, I paid a total of $450, which breaks down to $225 for this immaculate beauty right here. Like I said, on the secondary market, it is going for $400 to $800. Now, granted, that is brand new. However, I will take a used one for what is essentially half the price. And this guy comes with so many great accessories, guys, like literally every gadget in the game. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and start taking a look at all the great stuff that he does come with. So first off, he does come with two different faceplates. The first one being the neutral one that you do see him currently utilizing in the cowl. The second one being this more angry growling face right here. As you can see, the detail in these faceplates is just absolutely phenomenal. The 5 o'clock shadow, the nose and the mouth, the teeth are shiny like teeth should be. It's crazy how it just cuts off right there, but it's so detailed right here. Such an amazing faceplate. So like I said, this guy was previously owned, and even before that he was previously owned. So yes, I am the third owner of this Batman figure, and this is where he is to remain for the remainder of his existence, because I really don't see myself ever letting go of this beautiful Batman anytime soon. But one of the perks slash cons of that is that he actually came with a custom unique Bruce Wayne Arkham style or Arkham franchise head sculpt, which is absolutely phenomenal. The detailing in the hair, just absolutely pristine. Seeing all the lines, the layers in his hair. He even has his little neck piece right here, so you can pop it into the bat suit, and it looks like he still has, you know, that neck lining all the way up to the base of his head. But yeah, just all around an amazing head sculpt. So super cool. Now, the only downside to that is that the hole right here, the peg, it's not quite the size that a regular Hot Toys one is. So the peg that he does have in his neck it's loose. It doesn't hold any sort of replacement at all. Like it just doesn't. You'll see when we go into articulation, but it's so bad. I am very much looking to replace it and get a new one that fits the neck perfectly, because as great as this Bruce Wayne head sculpt is, I don't think I'll ever put it on this Batman. I really don't see myself utilizing it. So I am going to be looking for a neck peg that fits this guy like it should. Like I said, we'll talk about that more when we get into articulation. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at all the great hands that he does come with. So he does come with 7 extra hands. The 2 that he's currently utilizing are Batarang holding hands. Those are both his right and his left-handed Batarang holding hands. Obviously, in package, he does come with his fisted hands. Now, these are very well nicely done and detailed. You can tell that, a lot of detail was paid to these things with the glove detailing and everything, and even just the weathering on the knuckles and the top part of his hand. So, super cool on that. We do get a pair of C-grip hands, but very different C-grip holding hands, as you can see. This one's very much kind of like he's pinching things in between his fingers, and this one he's more relaxed holding things in his hand. But we do get a pair of C-grip hands right there. We do get a unique right-handed trigger finger for his grapnel launcher, and we do get a unique left-handed kind of gripping claw hand in order to fit into one of the gadgets, which we'll take a look at in a sec. And last but not least, we do get a single right-handed open grip hand, which I really wish they would have included 2 of these, but yeah, we do only get 1 of those. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at all the amazing great gadgets that he does come with. So if you've played the game, you know that wheel of gadgets, and you know that thing is full by the time you are done playing. So they went ahead and included every single gadget that is utilized in the game. So why don't we go ahead and start off with Batman's assault rifle. Ha ha ha. I'm just kidding, guys. Yes, I know this isn't an assault rifle. This is actually a tracking gun, so it actually shoots a tracker onto enemies that you can track throughout the city. It also does stuff to, I can't even think of the word, to destabilize guns. No, to kind of, it makes guns not work. I can't think of the word, something. But yeah, it basically shoots this dart that basically makes guns unusable and stuff. So that's a really cool thing to utilize in the game, especially when there's 6 bad guys with guns and you can at least take 3 of the guns out of the equation. Definitely a help. But as you can see, it is this very unique looking sculpt. Now it does look like there's a hinge right here and you can fold it in half like you can in the game. You can't, so just be careful. You cannot move this. It is a solid piece. It does not fold, but it does have that nice translucent plastic right there, the blue, some nice accent painting on the bullets itself, or the tracking fobs, or the destabilizers, whatever you want to call them, with some nice little blue paint right there, and some nice ridging detail right here on the handle. So overall, just a great gadget. Next up, we do have his voice modulator. So in this game, he does use this to kind of throw his voice and make his voice sound like the bosses of the enemies and stuff like that. So that way you can tell them to go check out a different area so you can sneak by them. You can tell them to go check out a trap so they fall for it. All sorts of fun stuff. Now, it does have a little basic wash right here and weathering, but nothing on the screen and nothing else overall in the detailing. So for the price that we pay for Hot Toys, you kind of expect a bit more in the detailing department, but that's actually just that gadget right there, because picking up the next one, the explosive gel gun, as you can see, it is highly detailed and very much added with some paint applications. We have some gold, we have some silver, we have some blacks. Overall, just an amazing accessory. Now just be very careful with the trigger right here, because as you can see, it is a very thin piece of plastic and it does not move. So when you're putting it in his hand, just be very careful. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at his freeze grenade. This is another phenomenal gadget that we get to use in the game to help us to kind of get rid of some of the enemies very easily. So it's very well nicely done and detailed. There's some nice blue paint applications on the inside to replicate that icy blue look that we do get in the game. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at his zipline launcher. Once again, a lot of great paint applications, and this is actually what this extra hand on the left side is meant for. So it is a bit of a tight grip, but if you can just kind of slide it in first in between the forefinger and the thumb. Hold on, guys. Let me do this off camera. Okay, so really quick, guys, the hand I was trying to get it in was not the correct one, so this one is not the one for this gadget. Rather, the more open one is. It's slid in very easily, and it's positioned very nicely. Now, you can get it in a bit more so that it's actually like on his knuckles and whatnot, but it's a bit of a struggle to get it off once you do get it into that position. So I don't want to put it too far down into those knuckles, but as you can see, he does hold it very well. And these do articulate up and down, so that way you can do that. And he does come with these separate lines right here that do have grapnels at the end, which are weathered. And they do plug in at either end right here as well, so you can have both on each side. But the only thing is, unfortunately, they are not wired and they don't really click in, so you can pull them out very easily. So it's not like you can even hold your Batman figure up with these lines and stuff. So yeah, but like I said, they aren't wired, so they kind of just flop around right there. But either way, it's still a really cool, really detailed, and very well painted gadget nonetheless. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at, of course, his Batarang. Now he does come with two, so he is holding the second one in his hand currently, but we do get two of these amazing Batarangs. As you can see, I love the silver painting on the edges to really emphasize those sharp edges. So lastly, let's take a look at his grapnel gun, because this thing is essentially 3-in-1. So first off, we do have the basic form of the grapnel gun right here. It is a very unique grapnel gun. This looks like it would move and shift, but it does not. So don't try to move it and shift it around, because it is placed right there. And then we have this front part right here, which this does pop out, and we can also attach those lines that we got into it right there. But like I said, it's not wired, so it's very flimsy. But as you can see, it pops in right there. Right there. So we can see that. Now the really cool thing about this is like it's 3-in-1. So you can pop that out, and you can pop this one in, which is I think a bit more of a heavy duty grapnel. Not 100% sure, I can't really remember. But the other thing that you can go ahead and attach to it is this larger front piece right here, and it turns it into the electrical charge gun from the games. So it's super cool that we get all the gadgets that we get to utilize in the game. Really quick, guys, I did forget about this one accessory that he does come with, which is his gauntlet communicator, which is a hologram, so it does pop out. So we do have an image of Oracle right here, and so in order to utilize this, we just go to his left hand gauntlet right here and just slide it into that little slot right there, and it looks like he's, well, his head's backwards, but it looks like he's communicating with her. Now before we go ahead and take a closer look at him, let's go ahead and take a look at the stand that he does come with. So he does come with your basic crotch grabber stand right there, as you can see, and here's the base itself. Now I don't know what's going on with it. It's very dark and dim, and I feel like the previous owner or the owner before him had this in the sunlight, and it just kind of faded the image in the back, because this is the most faded image I've ever seen on a Hot Toys display piece that has a display right here on the base itself. So yeah, it still says Arkham Knight, Batman, Batman, and it has the image itself, but it's just super dark, and the gloss is kind of starting to lose its gloss, which is kind of odd. But yeah, guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and take him off the rotating turntable so we can take a closer look at the detail and his articulation. Alright, guys, so here we have him up close to the camera so we can take a nice close look at all the amazing and beautiful detail in this figure, because man oh man, is he a beaut. This guy is absolutely phenomenal, guys. I absolutely love this suit in the video game, and I love it even more in person. I mean, the armor, and now the only thing I will say is all of this is, you know, like a latex rubbery suit, so obviously we're going to get some creasing and stuff. However, I just love the overall just armored up yet still functional bat suit look. The belt itself is absolutely phenomenal. The paint done on it is just great. I love the gauntlets that he does have on. The little, you know, blades right here, super cool, super awesome. Moving down to the boots, just a phenomenal look to this Batman. He does have some knee pads right here, which looks like they're coming unglued, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to take a look at that. Now, is the other one doing the same thing? Yeah, I think it might just be the movement of the actual fabric, because all of this right here is that latex rubbery suit, whereas all right here it is, but it's kind of like separate pieces that are just kind of laid on top of the suit. But this right here is a harder plastic all the way up. So from the chest right here up, it's all hard plastic. From there down, it's pretty rubbery and latexy, unfortunately. But turning him around to the cape, it is a pleather material, unfortunately. So we'll see how long it lasts. It does have some dirt right there, apparently. Some wires throughout it, but they're not even on the edges of it. So it's kind of hard to hold the cape up. Because the wiring isn't on the edges, it's kind of just on the inseams right here, while these ones are kind of left to just flap about. So taking a look at the back piece right here, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Even just the back look at Batman right here, just absolutely phenomenal. So I guess with that being said, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this guy's articulation. Now, like I said, the neck piece on this guy is not quite the one that should be in it. So his articulation on his head right here, as you can see, is just non-existent. So much so that his head actually pops off. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop this back on. But I guess he can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. He'll look down. Well, let's pop his head back in, but he'll look down that far. He'll technically look up not that far because his head popped off, but he'll look up that far. So yeah, unfortunately the head articulation on mine is compromised, and it's not even like I could switch it to the Bruce Wayne head because it would be the same situation. It's the peg part that pegs into the neck itself that's not the proper size. It's too small essentially, as you can see, because you can literally just take his head off like nothing, and it's not the magnetic version like, you know, the Dark Knight version that is in the DX18. So yeah, unfortunately that's too small. But other than that, his arms will go out to there. You got to be careful because the armor is a bit sharp right here, and as you can tell, careless lifting of the arm has led to a bit of some, I wouldn't say scratching and stuff, but some marking. Let's say it that way. So his arms will really only go forward this far without pushing into that hard plastic and causing even more damage. So I'm going to go ahead and refrain from that. His arms will go back that far. He does have a bicep swivel right there, butterfly joint, double hinge elbows, which allow him to go in that far, rotation at the wrist, hinging in and out, up and down, whichever way that bald peg is facing. But much with like many Batman figures, the gauntlet does hinder that motion. If you start moving it around too much, the hand does tend to just pop off. Taking a look at his waist articulation, very little, very minimal. As you can see, I am missing a piece right here because this piece on the belt keeps popping off, unfortunately. So I'm either going to have to glue it or just keep pushing it in whenever that does happen. So very limited articulation in the torso because of the latex rubbery suit, which means no ab crunch down or back. Taking a look at his legs, he can really only kick out this far, and even then I'm scared that it's going to rip. So we're going to be careful with that. He will kick forward that far, which really isn't much. When you straighten out his other leg, he will kick back not at all, basically just straight. He does come with double hinge knees, which allow him to kick back that far. And taking a look at his ankles, like I said, it is a split cut boot, thankfully, so they will go down that far, up that far, and he does come with a ball rocker hinge. So that has been this guy's articulation. All right, guys, so that has been my review of the Hot Toys Arkham Knight Batman figure. Let me know down in the comments below, what did you think? And if you've made it this far, type down in the comments below, this is how the Batman dies. That way I know you made it this far and you're enjoying the content. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics that I took of this guy. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Once again, shout out and thank you to channel sponsor Entertainment Earth. Check out my Entertainment Earth affiliate link down in the description below to check out all sorts of cool figures, get some free shipping, and help support the channel. And as always, have a great fucking day.